Good morning, boys and girls. Today we will be working on chapter 14, which is geometry. And today's lesson specifically is how to classify angles. So let's see how we do that, okay? So first of all, it says angles can be measured in a more precise way than turns. The unit used to measure an angle is called a degree. And it looks like a little circle in the upper right-hand corner of the number. A circle is made up of 360 degrees. So if you start here, you go all the way around, that's 360 degrees. Okay? So, and when you hear degrees, you may think of an oven when you're baking, and this is where the word degrees is used differently, and it's for math, and it goes with angles. So here we have here, an angle that turns through an angle that turns through 1/360th of a circle is called a 1-degree angle. Okay, so that basically, if you could draw lines across like here, here, and you just keep doing them over and over again, one movement would be 1 degree. So that means that 360 1-degree angles sharing the same endpoint. The endpoint is the center of the circle. Here's the endpoint. Make a circle. The angle below turns through 3 1-degree angles, so it measures 3 degrees. Okay? So when we have a turn, for example, if we wanted to divide a circle up, if we think from here to here, that would be 1/4 of a turn. From here to here would be 1/4. From here to here would be 1/4. And from here to here would be 1/4 of an angle. The whole angle is 360 degrees, and every turn is one of those degrees. So let's go now to the problem with Math in My World. Okay, example 1. David waits by the crosswalk sign on his way to school. The angle outlined on the sign turns through 50 1-degree angles. Find the measure of the angle. Now, when we measure angles, one of the things that you measure angles with is a protractor, but we're not going to be using a protractor because they're basically telling us what the degree marks are. So the angle turns through 50 1-degree angles. So here we have, remember, an angle is made up of 2 line segments. 2 rays. Okay, here's the endpoint where the rays meet, and the angle is within here. Okay? So that means that 50 1-degree angles sharing the same endpoint make the angle. So the angle has a measure of, so they want to know what is this. Okay? And they've already told us it moves 50 1 degree. So what's going to happen, the measurement of this angle is going to be 50 degrees. And 50, and they've already given us the degree mark there, but you can also write it. Okay, let's continue with the next example. Okay, now this part of the lesson, we're going to talk about the different types of angles. Now, once again, angles are made by 2 rays that share an endpoint. So we can classify angles. Angles can be classified as right, acute, and obtuse. So a right angle, and that's when you see those squares. We have a right angle here. Basically, this means that is 90 degrees, okay? Remember, a whole circle, if you were to start here and go around, that would be 360. This is 1/4 of a turn, okay? But this is also 90 degrees. When you see that square, that represents 90 degrees. Okay, so an acute angle measures greater than 0 degrees and less than 90 degrees. And I want you to think of that word cute. Whenever we see the word cute, we think of things that are small. So things, angles a lot of times are referenced in using the right angle as a reference point. So if it's smaller than a right angle, that means it goes from 0 degrees but less than 90, so 89 degrees, we call that an acute angle. The acute, remember things that are acute are usually small. Okay, so then if you keep that in mind, an obtuse angle measures greater than 90 degrees. So we have the rays and the opening would be larger than a right angle. So it's greater than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees, okay? So keep this in mind for right angle, because it, the rays form a square. An acute angle, the rays, when they're connected at the endpoint, are smaller than a right angle. And an obtuse angle, the rays, when they're connected, are larger than a right angle. So let's keep this in mind for example 2. Okay, let me erase this. Example 2. Classify the angle as right, acute, or obtuse. So the angle is 90 degrees. So it is a, now this is where knowing the definition of the angles will help you. Okay, it's 90 degrees. So yes, we see that square. It is a right angle. Example 3. Classify the angle as right, acute, or obtuse. The angle is greater than 90 degrees and less than 180. So that goes back to the definitions for the types of angles. You have to know the definitions, what defines a right, acute, and obtuse angle for you to be able to answer that. So which one is defined as greater than 90 degrees but less than 180? Greater than 90 but less than 180. Yes, that's an obtuse angle. Okay, so let's go to the guided practice here. The angle shown turns through 94 1-degree angles. Find the measure of the angle. You're not going to need a protractor for this because it's already telling you it's turning 94 1-degree angles. So the separation from here to here. Okay, so what is that? It would be 94 degrees. Okay, the next question says classify the angle shown as, is it a right angle, is it an acute angle, or an obtuse? Once again, this reference back to knowing the definition of what defines a right, acute, or obtuse. Well, right angle, remember that is 90 degrees. We would have a square in between the rays. We don't see a square. An acute angle, remember that those are things that are smaller than 90 degrees. So we want to have something that's less than 90 degrees. This looks like that's probably smaller than 90 degrees. Or an obtuse, it opens up. It's larger than 90 degrees. Okay, so according to this picture, this is an acute angle. Okay, so back to the question. How many 1-degree angles does a right angle turn through? Okay, if you have to turn a right angle. We already know what defines a right angle. It has to be, there's only one, it has to be 90 degrees. Therefore, how many 1-degree angles does it turn? It's 90 1-degree angles. Okay, I hope this helps you for your independent practice, because you will now continue and work on your independent practice, and then we'll meet up and I'll take any questions you may have and review the lesson. Take care.